A massive change is coming to the NBA.
On April 1st of this year, the
Jimmy
NBA
Highroller.
and its players agreed to a new collective bargaining agreement. The announcement of this new CBA broke news for about a day or two, and then it was shrugged off in the midst of the regular season. For the most part, it's a bunch of contract jargon, new financial structuring and incentives, nuanced agreements between owners and players that us fans couldn't care less about. But built into the details of this fairly routine league adjustment are three major rule changes to how the NBA will operate. Three adjustments to rules, systems, awards, and honors that have been in place for decades and will change the way the NBA and its players navigate the season.
Jimmy Highroller, let's get it. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Johnny Finesse. Welcome back to the channel. Got another Jimmy Highroller video. Make sure you hit that sub button. Make sure you hit that like button.
Waste right to your door. They're out. Guys, to seasonal celebration. Take advantage of this killer deal. Head over to HelloFresh and use code Jimmy Highroller 16 for 16. The league has a new CBA. Among the slosh of financial mumbo jumbo that I couldn't give a rat's ass about, there are three major changes taking place from this season forward. The first one is a new rule regarding the minimum number of games a player must play to receive individual awards and or be eligible for all.
Yeah, they tired of. I told you they tired of that resting shit. Now they tired of it. They tired. It's either you play or you don't get no awards.
Team selection.
Which is previously, fair. This fair. That's fair. That's very fair.
Was 58 games, or about 70% of the season.
Fair.
But under the new CBA rules, a player now must play at least 65 games in a season to qualify for all awards and honors. The overarching goal of this change being to reduce the amount of load management around the league. And surely, this change will do just that. Over the last 3 seasons, of the 45 players who were selected to an All-NBA team.
I haven't heard the word load management in a while, though. I haven't heard of load management in a while. I haven't heard that shit in a while. No cap.
15 of them wouldn't have even qualified under the new rules. In fact, LeBron James would have missed the cut in all of the last 3 seasons. And 15 superstars not playing enough games over the course of 3 seasons may not sound like much, until you realize that in the previous 19 seasons combined, only 15 players made all NBA teams without playing at least 70% of the season. A requirement that pushes for about 10% more games played throughout a season for every superstar around the league may have a larger impact on the game than you would think.
That's so crazy.
Which leads Ben Rohrbach of Yahoo Sports to beg the question, is it worth squeezing a handful more games from these stars to risk rewarding less prestigious candidates? Yes. Absolutely.
They get paid millions of dollars. Like, they get paid millions and millions and millions of dollars. Like, understand they put their body through hell, but y'all getting paid millions and millions of dollars. You feel me? To do what you love. Or at least what you used to love.
And this minimum game requirement will also be in effect for individual awards, such as the MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, and so on. The minimum game requirement here will have less of an effect on the league since voters are already in a silent agreement that in order to be the best at anything, you have to play most of the games. This is the exact reason why, excluding shortened seasons, there's only been 2 MVP recipients that played less than 70 games since the league moved to the 82-game schedule in 1968. Bill Walton in 1970.
Damn, bro. It's cool, though.
78, and Joel Embiid.
Giannis, too.
Just this past season.
Giannis,
but
too.
Still, we will inevitably see this new rule begin to change the way stars around the league navigate each season. Over the past decade, here are award winners that, under the new rules, wouldn't have even been eligible.
Defensive Player of the Year, it would have been Draymond. Defensive Player of the Year would have been AD. Rookie of the Year. Damn, you ain't played 51 games in his rookie year? That's crazy. Most Improved. 57. Like, damn. 63. He was almost there. 64 and 63. They were almost there.
including Jaren Jackson Jr. for Defensive Player of the Year
that's tough.
in 2023.
That's tough.
Now, the
That would have
one
been a different
caveat to
bag for
this
them.
rule change is that there will be exceptions under specific circumstances. For example, if a player has a season-ending injury, the minimum game requirement will drop from 65 to 62 games. Also, any game where a player plays at least 20 minutes will count as a game played. And
You have to
I
pay
think we
20
can all
minutes.
see exactly how this
Yo, so like, remember in the end of the season, so people just get in the game for 1 second, then foul, then leave, just to get that pay bonus. Now they have to play 20 minutes. That's tough.
will be exploited.
That's
And
tough.
to demonstrate this,
That's so.
I want to
That's
point y'all
tough.
to AC Green. Throughout the 80s and 90s, Green was a solid contributor in the NBA, but his legacy is remembered for his untouchable record for consecutive games played in an NBA career. From 1986 to 2001, AC Green did not miss a single basketball game. Not one. 1,192 consecutive games over the course
Oh
of
my
16
God.
years. A record that I'd be
Would
willing
never
to
be
bet
broken.
anything will never be broken
It
for
would
the rest
never.
of time. But
Never.
what people fail to mention is that in order to set this record, AC Green had numerous games where he would simply check into the game for a few possessions and then check back out. The man was well aware of his
He was
streak,
glitching.
and he would do anything in his power to keep it going
He was
until the day he
glitching.
retired. It's
That's
not a
tough,
matter
though.
of if
He was
stars
glitching.
around
He
the
knew what he
league
was
will check
doing.
into a game and then
That's fine.
inexplicably check
He was
back out after
glitching.
21 minutes. It's a matter of how many stars will do this and how often. But this
They've
rule
been doing
change
it
is
though,
certainly
just to get that pay bonus.
a
Like
step
one
in the
more
right
game, we in the playoffs. Let me get my rest up.
direction.
Play
Now, the
bonus.
next rule change that was included in the new
Gangsta.
CBA is one that fans have been asking for years. The NBA has become a positionless league. Is Steph Curry a point guard, or is he really a shooting guard? Probably a little bit of both. Is Jimmy Butler a power forward? Of course not. And yet he's listed as one. If you look up
What?
the words shooting guard in the dictionary, you'll find a picture of Klay Thompson. And yet he's listed as a small forward. Positions
What?
don't matter. And the NBA is finally taking
Why
notice
did they
of this
do
starting
that?
next season and the way that they vote for all NBA teams. Because
Why
from
did
this
they do that?
upcoming season forward, all NBA teams will no longer be restricted to 2 guards, 2 forwards, and a center. Instead, all NBA teams will be positionless. The 5 players who receive the most first-place votes will simply be first-team All-NBA. Players who earn the 6th
Wow.
most votes will be second-team All-NBA, and 11th through 15th will be named
Oh, nah.
third-team All-NBA. This change in the structure
So
of
I ain't
how
gonna lie. With this, people that deserve to be on the All NBA team will be on the All NBA team. That's tough. I ain't gonna lie. That's kind of tough.
all NBA teams
kinda
are
tough.
chosen will
kinda
fundamentally
tough.
change the contractual leverage of players around the league and the legacy they leave behind. This past season, Nikola Jokic, the best player in the world, didn't even make first team All-NBA. Only one center is allowed to make first team, and that spot went to Joel Embiid. Rudy Gobert has 4 All-NBA selections in his career.
That's
You wanna
crazy.
know how many All-NBA teams Vince Carter made in his 22-year career? 2. I know, right?
That is
Guess how many
crazy.
All-NBA teams Ray Allen has made in his career? 2. What about Dennis Rodman? You guessed it. 2. In fact,
Like all the nice things.
Rudy
Nah.
Gobert has more career All-NBA selections than Vince Carter, Ray Allen, Dennis Rodman, DeMarcus Cousins, Manu Ginobili, Draymond Green, Kevin Love, Alonzo Mourning, Klay Thompson, Bill Walton, James Worthy, Devin Booker, Chris Bosh, Kevin McHale, Earl Monroe, Derrick Rose, and Peja Stojakovic.
And this is why he might go to the Hall of Fame on some bullshit, even though he don't deserve it.
Appalling.
He ain't really
The
get
old
anything for
All-NBA
real.
voting system was broken.
Matter of fact,
And it
a
had
lot.
been
He
for
got
years.
Defensive Player of
But
the
the
Year
most
multiple
egregious
times.
case of this
No
failed
cap.
voting
I'm
system
bugging.
came back in 2016 when DeAndre Jordan,
bugging.
who was never at any point in his career even considered a top 30 player in the league, made first team All-NBA. That's right. Because of this voting system, DeAndre Jordan was virtually named a top 5 player in the NBA. That same season, Kevin Durant, at his apex, did not make first team All-NBA. Change was in need, and to demonstrate just how much these alterations will affect the NBA,
That's
here
tough.
are the All-NBA teams from 2023. Now, considering the new minimum game requirement and the positionless voting, this is how the 2023 All-NBA teams would look under the new rules according to voting results. Giannis, Steph, Butler, Lillard, and LeBron all missed too many games to make the cut. Jokic makes first team with Embiid, Sabonis, Fox, and Randall all get promoted to second team, and 4 players in Markkanen, Holiday, Brunson, and Anthony Edwards all make
That's crazy. That's crazy.
their first All-NBA team. Now, the last major change that we'll see in this upcoming season is the new in-season tournament. No official structure of the tournament has been announced yet, but the basic framework is set, and it'll look something like this. The league will be divided into 6 pools of 5 teams. Pools will be comprised of teams from the same conference. And that's about the extent of this plan making any sense. Because out of the established pools of teams, there will be designated days during the first 6 weeks of the season.
That means more bread. That means they about to get more bread. More games, more bread. Unless they cutting the season games down so the tournament is. But more games, more bread. More games, more bread. No cap.
Where teams will play within their pool. The winner of each 6 pools will advance to a single elimination stage along with 2 wildcard teams. The league has yet to announce how these wildcard teams will be determined, so maybe record. The semifinals and finals will be played at a neutral site, and the players on the winning tournament team will receive $500,000 each. But here's where it gets really weird. Each NBA team
We could take the All-Star game out for that. Take the All-Star game out for that. I ain't gonna lie, that would be tough. I'll take the All-Star game out. That would be tough.
Only be scheduled for 80 games on the season. Teams that do not advance to the knockout round of the tournament will have 2 games added to their schedule. And the teams that make the final round of the tournament will play 83 total games. So let me get this straight. This new in-season tournament will affect the scheduling of the regular season. It will have qualifying rounds built throughout the season. It will lead to some teams playing more games in a season than others. But most importantly, I don't know if anyone's even going to care. The teams that are already good might not care about the in-season tournament because they have bigger goals. And the teams that have no chance at contending for a championship and might care to win the tournament probably won't have a shot. I think the single elimination format could work in favor of less capable teams, but are the title contenders for the postseason
more bread
also the same
half
teams
a
that
mil
will be favored to win
half
the
a mil
in-season
less
tournament?
games half a mil
Will the rich not just get richer while bad teams continue to have no shot at winning anything? Over the last decade, the NBA has added a handful of new awards that players can win throughout the season. The Hustle Award, Teammate of the Year Award, Clutch Player of the Year, Eastern and Western Conference MVPs. These extra awards get more players and fan bases involved. But if we're being completely honest, no one really cares about these additive accolades. Who won the Hustle Award in 2020? Who won the Teammate of the Year Award in 2021? Similar to these secondary awards, I think the mid-season tournament could be a fun detour from the regular season. But I'm not sure how much value or even importance it will hold, especially considering it will uproot the entire structure of the regular season. But what do y'all think? Do you like the changes coming to the NBA? If you had the power, what changes would you make? If the 5 best players in the league...
What changes would I make? If everybody had the same market, that would be crazy.
League are 5
the same
point
tax
guards.
bracket market.
Does it make
If everybody
sense to
had
have
that
them
cap space,
all first team
let's see
all
what
NBA?
happens.
What if the 10 best players in the league all play less than 65 games? Would it really make sense to have the 11th most valuable player in the NBA win the MVP? How does Rudy freaking Gobert have more All-NBA selections than Vince Carter? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And as always,
no cap.
until next time.
That shit is tough though. That shit is tough. Make sure y'all like the video. Make sure y'all subscribe.